Our top story today from the GatewayPundit.com. DOGE team discovers FEMA spent $59 million last week on luxury hotels for illegals. We're talking about this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Gateway Pundits Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today comes from the GatewayPundit.com. Check this out. Elon Musk, DOGE team discovers that FEMA spent $59 million last week on luxury hotels for illegal aliens in New York City, violating the current law that Musk vows to recoup after the funds went missing, Jim Hoff reports. Well, Elon Musk reported early Monday morning that FEMA spent $59 million just last week on luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants. If this doesn't make your blood boil, I don't know what would. Now, according to Musk, sending this money to these high-end hotels violated the law. This directly interferes with President Trump's executive order. And why is FEMA paying for illegal aliens housing when they ignore Americans suffering and living in tents in places like North Carolina? Now, FEMA funds are meant for American disaster relief and not to fund Joe Biden's invasion. Musk says that a clawback demand will be made today to recoup the funds, saying they just discovered $59 million being used for this reason. Apparently, one of the hotels in question is the Roosevelt in Manhattan. The city of New York pays $220 million to rent the entire Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan to house illegal migrants. The hotel is owned by the government of Pakistan, and the deal was a part of a $1.1 billion IMF bailout package to help Pakistan avoid defaulting on their debt. Think about how corrupt that is. Now, in January, President Trump created a FEMA response council by executive order. At the time, Trump reported that FEMA has lost mission focus, diverting limited staff and resources to support missions beyond its scope and authority, spending well over $1 billion to welcome illegal aliens. Now, in May of 2023, Mayor Adams admitted that half of the hotel rooms in New York City were occupied by illegal immigrants. That must be why my hotel was so expensive. I was paying like $750 a night last time I went for like a 4-star hotel. Ridiculous. I actually think it was more than that. I think it was like $8.99 or $11.99 for one night. Crazy. Now, that being said, check this out. It turns out in the midst of all this that more than that was going on, as Elon Musk wrote this directly on X. The DOGE team discovered this, and this person said the city of New York pays $220 million to rent the entire Roosevelt Hotel. Do you know that? We're sending the money to Pakistan. So it's not even that like American businesses are cashing out on helping out, illegal aliens. So the money's staying in our country. It's like we are in many ways, putting that money from American taxpayers into the pockets of Pakistanis. And I'm not entirely sure why people don't understand that that's happening, but I'll rest my case there when it comes to that story. Now, that being said, have you ever wondered what happened to legendary Chuck Norris? Well, let me tell you something. Before we go any further, I saw this video that he made and I was shocked. Now, he's pretty old. Maybe not that old, right? But he's in his 80s and he's kicking butt and working out and staying active. Now, the key thing is what's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids, which we all love. Now, he did this by just making one change. He says that he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says that she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Now, Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure that you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/pundit or by clicking the link in the video below. Now, it's going to change the way that you think about your health. Once again, that's ChuckDefense.com/PUNDIT. That's chuckdefense.com/pundit. Click the link in the description to watch the video. You won't believe how simple it is. His method is right there. You're one click away from knowing exactly what to do and how to get your strength back in these later ages of our life. Now, additionally, Super Bowl crowd erupts and cheers when President Trump appears on Jumbotron during the national anthem. Insane. Listen to this. President Trump is the first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl game in person. He arrived in New Orleans Sunday night to watch the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles. During the singing of the national anthem, the camera panned to President Trump with his hand over his heart, honoring our great nation. When this image appeared on the Jumbotron, the crowd erupted in cheers. Check out this clip that we have showing that event. It's quite remarkable. It's just a few seconds, but what a patriotic moment. Am I right? Listen to this.
Through the perilous fight, or the rain.
Now, that's obviously in juxtaposition to what we saw with Taylor Swift when she came on screen. Everybody booed her. Everyone's like, boo. Why? Because she advocated for Kamala. She wanted the end of our nation. I'm not even joking about this. Look, I don't agree with all of Trump's foreign policy ideas. I really don't. I don't think that he has our best interest in mind with, occupying Gaza. I hope I'm wrong. Like, I would wish I was wrong. But, giving a $6.35 billion arms deal to Israel and then occupying Gaza, well, how does this help America? I don't know. Maybe drop me a comment. I'm confused as hell. But I will say in retrospect that, if Kamala was in power, things would be ostensibly worse for our nation in many ways, including just with the Israel conflict, would just be increasing the amount of bombings that are going on. Although I do feel justified because I had warned you guys. I said, they were trying to form a greater Israel. They wanted to take over the land. They were trying to ethnically cleanse and destroy the buildings, which Trump said they did. Right? Trump admitted this. He goes, they just destroyed it. They turned it into rubble. This wasn't about getting rid of Hamas. This was about getting rid of the entire people from the region. And a lot of you agree with that, and you think that's a good thing. And, it's not really our decision here on the show to decide what you think about it. Feel free to think however you want. But, we do need to accept the facts on what happened. That is the truth. That is what went on. And we can't really hide that that's what occurred. But I still like Trump a lot, man. I think he's a great president, and I'm excited to have him in power. Just what he's doing, especially with the cuts right now, it's incredible. Now, that being said, pro-Palestinian protester interrupts Kendrick Lamar's worst Super Bowl halftime show. Listen to this. During Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, a masked man interrupted the show by unfurling a Palestinian flag with the words Sudan and Gaza written on it. The individual stood atop a black Grand National car on stage, waving the flag for approximately 45 seconds before being noticed by security. Check out the clip we have from this interaction. Watch. I don't really know what I think about that. I mean, I don't really think that's really a very big deal on what occurred there, right? I think when you look at that, I bet you, I'm looking at my producer, I bet you they planned that. Like, that was probably a stunt planned by Kendrick and the people there. Like, he was probably a dancer.
Yeah, he was on stage, or he was on top of the car at first. Like, he was one of the dancers. I think he just held the flag in his hoodie or something and then popped up later.
Correct. Like, there was a planned stunt. Like Janet Jackson's boob popping out, right? It was a wardrobe malfunction. This is all just to, cover up the fact that it was one of the worst performances in history. And I didn't even watch it, right? I didn't even watch it, but I already knew it was going to be bad because I've watched these kinds of things in the past. It's pretty much useless. I don't know why people still take time to watch these shows. I don't find it interesting. That being said, the Trump administration files emergency motion to vacate Treasury's restraining order, asserts that no court can sever presidential supervision mandated by Article 2. Listen to this. The Trump administration has filed an emergency motion to vacate an ex parte temporary restraining order issued by the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. This order egregiously interferes with the executive branch's operations by limiting access to crucial Treasury Department systems. On Saturday, Obama appointee Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer, really? Engelmeyer? Dang. Issued an ex parte temporary restraining order that restricted access to Treasury systems exclusive to civil servants, explicitly excluding all political appointees from accessing these systems. Ex parte means the Trump administration lawyers weren't given notice, weren't allowed to argue, and weren't even in the room. Only Democrat attorney generals were heard, ensuring a predetermined outcome. This is lawfare. In an egregious and unconstitutional assault on executive authority, Judge Paul Engelmeyer has unilaterally forbidden all of Trump's political appointees, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, from accessing Treasury Department data. This ruling concocted without whatever them present from AMUs. The order temporarily blocks the Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, and Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, from accessing a sensitive payment system that distributes American tax returns, Social Security benefits, disability payments, and federal employee salaries. It also mandates the immediate destruction of any information that may have been copied or downloaded by Musk's DOGE team since January 20th, the date Trump was inaugurated. This order will remain in effect until a further hearing is scheduled for February 14th, when the court will consider whether to extend or modify the restraining order. Now, the reason why this is ridiculous is this is lawfare. This is interference, right? The people that are trying to stop Trump and Elon Musk from having the ability to audit waste are obviously guilty of extortion from the U.S. taxpayer. And I don't know if I trust Elon Musk, and I don't think that he maybe has the best interest of America in his heart long term. There's definitely some short-term benefits to these audits, including literally limiting the waste of money. You know, I just saw today that Americans were sending $17 million. We're about to send a check for $17 million to Liberia in order to help them give tax advice. Liberia, you mean the country that, enslaves its own people? It's kind of ridiculous, honestly, that we've gotten to this point in our country where things can be this insane. But I digress, right? I don't need you to listen to me, to understand me, to know me, except for the fact that I can tell you this: it is a travesty what the Americans have gone through, what we've experienced in the raping and the pillaging of our income by these foreign adversaries. Now, that being said, obviously, before we dive into the next story, we've teamed up with Gundry MD to uncover a pantry staple that's more than just cooking ingredient. It's called olive oil. You've probably heard of it, and it's obviously one of the healthiest foods on earth. But listen to this. Do you know that Dr. Stephen Gundry, a leading cardiothoracic surgeon and nutrition guru, advocates for olive oil not just for your kitchen, but for your beauty and health regimen too? Check it out. Now, he suggests using high-quality olive oil daily, whether you're taking a shot or keeping it in your medicine cabinet. But here's the twist. Not all olive oils are equal. With so many brands out there, how do you know which one truly benefits your health? Dr. Gundry has researched this extensively, and his findings have gone viral. He's here to guide you through the maze of olive oil choices. Watch his eye-opening video right now at getolive1.com/pundit or find the link in the description. That's spelled GETOLIVE, the number 1.com/pundit, PUNDIT. That's getolive, the number 1.com right there /pundit. See how the right olive oil can transform your health and beauty routine. Don't miss out on this life-changing information today. Now, that being said, CBS host Margaret Brennan looks totally miserable as she reports on Trump's high approval rating. Watch this clip we have. It's hilarious. People don't know what to do. The mainstream media is melting, and, well, we're enjoying the ride. Watch.
Our CBS poll finds that a majority of Americans, 53%, approve of the job he's doing. That's a better approval number than he ever reached during his first term in the White House. Joining us with more is our Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto. Good to see you, Anthony. What's driving this?
I will keep it simple, Margaret. He's doing, in the eyes of the public, what he said he would do in the campaign. There's political value in that. In fact, 70% of people say he's doing what he promised. That's whether they approve of him or not. Now, there's another part of this that continues over from the campaign. There were words that he was described as being tough, being energetic, and he still is today in big majority numbers. So as people take a look in these first few weeks, there's been a lot of activity. They're getting that general sense of governance, and that's being reflected in these early numbers.
So that's perception. What about the actual policies?
Well, let's start with the ones that are popular. And again, these echo a lot of what we saw in the campaign. The idea of deporting those in the country illegally continues to be popular. We saw that in the campaign. Sending troops to the U.S.-Mexico border, again, majority in favor. We'd seen that in the campaign. For his supporters in particular, the focus on ending DEI is popular. We had seen in the campaign, a lot of them thought those processes had gone too far.
Look, these people are melting down. They cannot believe their eyes. Trump is popular? Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. What am I gonna do? Cry? Yeah, cry about it, you wench. A lot of us in America are happy to see our taxpayer dollars going to something that matters, something that's important, something that we can actually invest into, which is our future, maybe into our infrastructure. It makes me sick, and I'm sick and tired of watching all this nonsense and madness unveiled before our eyes, and mainstream media pundits like this react with nothing more than ridiculous sentiment. Oh, how could people enjoy the country being ran properly? I rest my case. Don't forget, if you like this video, to join our mug club. You get one of these fancy mugs, thegatewaypundit.com. They're amazing. You can drink your tea in it. You can plant a pot in it. Plant in it. It's like a pot. You could smoke it like it is pot. No, I'm just kidding. You can't do any of those things. But you could just drink out of it every morning. And when you do this, you join our extensive journalistic integrity club. So then, you can help us just spread the truth every single day and get videos like this. I'm Elijah Schaffer. Have a great rest of the week. May God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.